Yahweh Shem Yahushua Wakabah Wahadar. All praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushua, Bahasham, Wakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well of Yasha'Allah. Peace and blessing to the faithful elect of Yasha'Allah. Yasha'Allah, which is Hebrew for Israel. Shalom Waparakim Ha'aman Bachayar Yasha'Allah. This your brother Shariat and Awasah coming back. This lesson is only out to you so-called Native American Indians, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, because you're actually the biblical Israelites. You're famous, and that is why everybody hates you. Now, stay away from this guy. And there must be heresy. There must be heresies for those men that are actually truly sent by Yahweh Shem Yahushua, that's actually laboring diligently, sincerely, first and foremost, sincerely, man, actually sent. You have heresies come around, so those same men can be clearly made manifest. Okay, you're really about this, all right? Now, this is something that's been, been in the, basically, I guess, the trending topics of really us being set for defending the faith, the gospel, you know what I'm saying? Because this guy's actually going up against the gospel. He's going up against the faith. He appears, what you see carnally is Israelite standing here, but this guy's actually, he's the son of a devil, man. Period. And we're gonna prove it. So, just to give you a quick rundown, the brother, I first seen this by the watcher, the brother, I'm a wine for bar channel right here. I'm gonna play some of it. So in a nutshell, this guy's telling people that the manna from heaven is magic mushrooms, man. Psychedelics, man. These people are insane, and this is like brothers that had a few different takes on it, but my take is clearly, being defended. One, we're defending the gospel. Faith I wanted to realize it, for what it was, and then ultimately the first thing I noticed when I first seen this, when this first broke, that it's an Israelite, so-called Israelite, I say so-called because you got those that are of Israel that are not actually Israel. This guy's a demon. When the news first broke, I just took it like, okay, this must be heresies, man, because there's no way that you're truly been picked out, handpicked by the Lord, drawn by the Lord, the true Lord in truth and spirit and truth, and you're gonna believe this, man. It's impossible. So, but I still, the Father put it on me this morning to go ahead and, rebuke this as well. Defend against this as well, because we gotta look well to the flock, man. And that's simply making sure our people don't fall for guys like this, because he's gonna end up bugging somebody out, and they're gonna get destroyed due to him, man. All right. So I got a lesson by the Spirit. I want to do that. Just because you hear this guy using the name too, that doesn't mean he's a man of the Lord, bro. The Lord can let anybody, use his name, but that don't mean he's actually dealing with them. You got heathens that know the name, that heard the name, that was, walks past assembly on the highways and byways of brothers teaching, and they, would actually say the name. I've seen instances like that, trying to sound the name out. So but that don't mean anything, man. That's just the Father's name. It's holy. It's not to be played with. But, ultimately, just because you got the name, that don't mean anything, man. That don't mean anything. You're not actually praising it. It said the elect shall praise his holy name, man. So let's hear what this guy is going to say a little bit.
All praises and the glory to our Father Yahweh, in the name of King Yahushua, in the name of the Holy Spirit forever and always. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that we well. Much love.
And that's another thing right there. that guy don't really mean what he said. Cause I've never heard the apostles and elders teach no shit like this, bro. You know what I'm saying? This is crazy. So you got guys that's really wolves in sheep's clothing. You know, that's like the sincerity of this truth. You know, the apostles and elders, a great millstone, and a man under them, man. The man following that doctrine, because they simply just teach the true doctrine of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, man. Okay? It's not about a camp thing. We're Israelites at the end. We're Israelites at the beginning of the day, the middle of the day, and the end of the day. You know, the GMS banner is just for them to differentiate themselves from your IUICs, your IUSBKs, and HOIs, and just basically the split that happened after the, you know, the infiltrating of Esau of the elders back at One West, when the father first really let this thing start, this awakening to start basically passing right before everyone's eyes back in the, you know, the school in the 80s, but it was before that back to the 50s, Bible Bivens, you know, the commandment keepers. But this guy could use that. You can hear people use the name, double honest, you know, act like they're so sincere, you know, because that's scripture. You know, that's why we give the elders double honest. But it don't mean nothing, man. It's wolves in sheep's clothing out here, man.
To all you brothers out on the highways and byways, out on the front lines of this spiritual war.
You know about the highways and byways, how serious it is.
Helping seal the 144,000. Ha Bayat Shao Dawada, the house of David. And we pray to be part of that number. Yahweh watches our Lord willing. Much love to the helpers and friends of the prophets, of the men and women that are going to be part of the 144,000 and the 1/3. Much love to the 1/3 Israelites scattered all around the earth, the great multitude that scattered amongst the heathen nations, and even look just like these other heathen nations, what they haven't scattered to, and don't have the typical Israelite appearance, but they still go back to. There's a reason why this happened. Kind of a see something. This will happen. You try to make a name for yourself. Great. There's a reason why this. The manna from heaven is magic mushrooms, aka psychedelic mushrooms. And we're gonna get into it because this knowledge has never been brought up before. And yes, magic mushrooms are good for you. And magic mushrooms.
This guy. So that just hit me. This guy, goddamn, he a demon, man. He's a damn demon, bro. He's a demon.
Royal chosen Zealon, who the kingdom of heaven, salvation, the covenants, promises, blessings, and everlasting life is only for. And much love to the 1/3 women and children that are going to receive salvation through a man of the Lord. And this video is titled, The Manna from Heaven is Magic Mushrooms, aka psychedelic mushrooms. And we're going to get into it because this knowledge has never been brought up before. And yes, magic mushrooms are good for you.
See, this dude, man.
This knowledge has never been brought up before. That's what happened. This is what happened when you try to make a name for yourself. Great. There's a reason why this hasn't been brought up before, because it don't fucking exist. Alright? There's a reason why, man. Here it is, you got Apostle Paul been in truth for almost going over 35 years around that. Mushrooms is something that we're supposed to be consuming to fully open up our pineal gland. Yep, and this is going to lead to spiritual power, and this is going to lead to the downfall of Esau. And so, magic mushrooms will lead to spiritual power.
I'm gonna stop right there. Basically, this dude said, he pretty much said, Esau even knows it. This is guy right here, man. He a damn demon. Even Esau knows that manna is magic mushrooms. And you know it's a demon because it's not the Holy Spirit. This guy is, you know, he's I wouldn't say he's not hot, he's cold. He's completely cold. You know, it's a spirit on him that got him, you know, putting out at a high rate, man. You know, talking about the chariots, he got the thing. You know, it's crazy, man. Psychedelic plants are in the Bible. We have no type of understanding of what it is the Most High made any of these plants you don't deal with, you haven't dealt with out. And that's a reason for that, man. So without any further ado, like I said, this is the guy right here. I'm gonna just go ahead and get into it. Let's just end up pulling back up. So I don't want this to be too long. So as you see right here, this him, you know, you can see he has a mixture of, you got that Sakari. Heard some of the elders been exposed to pieces of the truth, you know, the unadulterated truth, you know, in his appearance, man. You should know a man by his countenance, because he looks like Gorilla Hebrew by his head, man. And it's not no knock to those brothers, but we know it's a lot of diluted doctrine, you know, as far as the truth amongst these other assemblies, man. You know, these mugs want to be rappers, and it's just crazy, man. So without any further ado, we go ahead and get into it. Don't follow this guy. There must be heresies among you to Alright, we'll get a few questions. We're gonna cut this up. We're gonna show how this guy he's not really in it, man. Alright. It says, what I want to start with. I'm gonna start with John 7. We're just gonna get straight to it. John 7 and 15. And the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man? Matter of fact, we started 14. It says, now about the midst of the feast, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught. Right? And the temple is actually you Israelites, man. Salaki. The temple is actually you Israelites. And so, because that's actually where the Father dwells within. You know, at that time, we did have a temple, but in this time, there is no physical temple. We're actually the physical temple. Him dealing with us, within us. So now about the midst of the feast, John 7:14, Yahushua went up into the temple and taught, and the Jews marveled, saying, so teaching just like this guy, right? And the Jews, right, fellow Israelites, marvel, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned, right? Meaning he didn't go in. Well, that's not the point. Verse 16, it says, Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So, well, I gotta explain that to get the point. So they basically said, well, how can he teach if he's never learned? Meaning he didn't go to, you know, what those Jews were Pharisees, were being led by the Pharisees and scribes, man, the Sadducees, and those are basically proud men who received, you know, that would be today. You're like your modern day pastors, their first lady, with the big homes, the expensive vehicle. You know what I'm saying? Just really watered down. Well, just not even Israelites anymore. You can't even consider those people Israelites. But they're learn today in that sense would translate to going to a seminary school, Bible college. You know what I'm saying? And being taught by Esau, right? Having the truth be restricted by the means of a 501c3. Which is that it's guidelines on how you must go about, you know, bringing out the truth of the Bible. One being, you can't teach the name. But anyway, it says, verse 16, and Yahushua answered and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. So, verse 17 is my point. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. So when you do what the Father wants you to do, he's gonna give you the knowledge. He's gonna give you the understanding. He's gonna open this thing up to you when you're doing what he wants you to do. That's how you ultimately get it. That's how we know this guy doesn't know what he's talking about because, or he, I should say, this guy, he like my point in the last part, it says, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of Yahweh or the Most High, or whether I speak of myself. So he can't even tell because he didn't know if this was true if he was simply doing the will, right? Doing what the Father wants. That's why we're able to say that's not what the Father wants. That's off because we're clearly doing. That's the spirit we're coming in. You know what I'm saying? He's coming in the spirit of talking about bringing out something that just is just so just out there. It's psychedelic. Like you talking about psychedelics, man. It's crazy, man. Have you not heard stories of people who have taken those things, back in the world? It's crazy. So you simply understand this thing by first and foremost fear, and that's fear is shown is by showing it. So you're showing the Father what He wants, man. In other words, you're doing what He wants, right? And then He'll give you the understanding. And when you get that understanding, you'll know what's not of that understanding, what's not of that truth, right? Now, next point, real quick. Let me go to John 6. It says, this guy's basically saying that Yahweh Shai, just cut him up real quick. This guy's just, by the Spirit, this guy's basically saying, the bread, the manna, Yahweh Shai, who's spiritually the manna that came from that same manna that came from heaven. That physical manna was to represent Yahweh, what Yahweh was gonna give us in the latter days, and that was Yahweh Shai, right? He was gonna come from heaven. He was gonna give us that understanding. He was gonna fill us up, right? He was gonna be our food for thought. He was gonna satisfy us, right, with that good news, that gospel. Those glad tidings, that gospel we must defend, So he's basically saying Yahweh Shai is a damn psychedelic, man. Yeah, mushroom. That's basically what he's saying. That's nuts. It says John 6 and let me see. It says John 6 and see what I don't get. Okay. Our fathers, let me start at 31. Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. Then Yahweh Shai answered and said, Then Yahweh Shai said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread. But my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is He which cometh down from heaven and giveth life unto the world. So he's making that about a physical, carnal thing when it actually was just to pave the way for what the Lord was actually going to have rain down on us, man. Like he said, my doctrine shall dispel this dew. You know what I'm saying? Because Yahweh Shai is likened unto water. He's likened unto bread. He's likened unto wine, right? Man, and it's unleavened. You know what I'm saying? It's nuts, man. It says, then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. Right? That's the bread you want. You won't be dealing with no physical bread, because we eating our bread defiled among the heathen. Let's get that, man. Because this guy don't know what he talking about. You're gonna let the spirit roll. I'm not gonna try to control this thing. There you go, man. It says Ezekiel 4:13, and the Lord Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their bread, eat their defiled bread among Gentiles, whether I drive them. So even if you want to be like, okay, that's what the Father wants you dealing with, it's defiled. So that's a cut, man. All right, let me get this. Let's get that. So anything you could really consume is actually defiled right now. It's not even in its proper state. So you really, only way for you to really get what you need is by being spiritual, eating spiritual, man. Praying spiritual that he takes that off. And that word right there, so I can, let's go into it. Bread, lacham, right?
Strong's H3899. Lechem. Lechem.
I don't know anything. It says bread, food, grain, bread, corn, food in general. That's what the bread is ultimately, right? Anything that we're gonna consume is defiled, man. That's what the Lord is saying. So this guy don't know what he's talking about. He don't know the scriptures, man. I'm gonna get one more. I hate that this thing goes back like it does. And then defiled, the word right there is the ma. I ain't gonna click it and let Esau butcher it. It means defiled means unclean, impure, ethically, religiously, or places. It says, since as to animals, persons, animals, and things, which is a noun. So plants would be a thing, right? So that would, these so-called mushrooms would even go inside of that. It says polluted of name. This stuff is, nothing is in its right form, man. I'm gonna give another scripture real quick. So I don't gotta control this thing. Cause I was trying to go. Father dealing with you, man. He just give you. It's just the spirit leads you, man. And it's a good feeling. You ain't gotta rehearse. It says John 3:12, and I say that humbly. John 3:12. If I have told you earthly things and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? You see that? So, Lord, like you ain't ready for certain things. So you need to quit trying to be deep, Jake. That's Jake's damn problem, man. Make no damn sense. Let's get another one. You want to be deep. You want to eat heavy meals. John 4:34. Yahweh said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work. So they want to, get into deep things. And he's like, yo, my deepest thing for me to do, Yahweh is simple. Like I said, don't be lost in the simplicity that's in Yahweh. Like, yeah, Yahweh is deep. He's out there. But Yahweh is deep, not you, Jake. You know what I'm saying? So quit trying to put things there that ain't there. Charity is what it's supposed to be about. Okay? It says, right. It says, John 4:32. But he said unto them, I have meat to eat that ye know not of. See that? The Lord, on the level you can't even attain to. So quit trying to attain to things that hasn't been revealed, right? It said, because that's what he's basically telling you right here. Therefore, it said the disciples went to another house. Any man brought him all to eat. So he wasn't even talking about physical things, man, because they like, we don't even see any food. What is this? What is this brother talking about? What is this guy talking about? It says, 34, Yahushua said unto them, my meat, he said, Yahushua said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me and to finish his work, right? So quit trying to be on this level, man, that you're not on, man. It's simple, man. Be a man of the Lord. You got the names he revealed, but, it's really a little bit deeper than that, because a lot of these dudes is, you can't, like brothers, I've never seen brothers say, you can't fake the funk. You really can't fake this, let me see. Right. Jake want to get glory and things that's not there. Let me make sure. Like, it's gonna be my last scripture. Let's see. So you trying to say Yahweh Shai is a mushroom? Something you can't understand? Come on, man. And if you can't understand, what's that? Matthew 11:6, man. It says, and blessed is he whoever shall not be offended in me. You know? And not when you're not offending your house, I mean, you get it. I mean, you don't want to scandalizo.
Strong's G 4624. Scandalizo.
So scandalizo. It says that's the word for offended, and it means to put a stumbling block or impediment in a way which another may trip and fall. Metaphorically, to offend, to entice to sin. So, blessed is he whoever. So, I don't want to butcher it. And blessed is he who shall not be offended in me. Right. So, you don't trying to learn this word. You don't fall away and start talking about mushrooms, man. That guy not blessed, man. Since one who stumbles, whose foots get entangled, feels annoyed. This truth is too simple for him, man. He just can't leave the song alone. You know, he wants to remix it. It says to cause one displeasure at a thing, right? Displease. It's not good enough for him, man. To cause a person to begin to distrust and desert one whom he ought to trust and obey. So the Lord said, man, my job's crippled. Y'all talking about food and all that. Listen, man. What I need to stomach is that I gotta die for this nation really quick, man. Come back, then we can do it and go into all of that stuff, man. But y'all got it. It's a simple path right now, man. It's a simple path, man. So, you know, it's just so many scriptures you can go into. I'm gonna get this. So that's really the true doctrine. How about how Shah? Let's see, John 4:24. It says, God is a spirit. Most High is a spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. We're trying to make everything carnal. We deal with herbs. You talking about fucking psychedelics, man. This dude's lucky, excuse my language. It says, let me see. John 6. I'm going to get these last couple ones, man. These are some good scriptures. Because I'm done with this guy after this. I am that bread of life. Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? That's any type of food, right? Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness and are dead, right? This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man may eat thereof and not die, right? So there you go, man. Let's see. Let me get verse 60. Let me get verse 59. These things said he in the synagogue as he taught in Capernaum. Many therefore of his disciples, when they heard this, said, this is an hard saying. Who can hear it? When Yahushua knew in himself that his disciples murmured at it, he said unto them, doth this offend you? See that? This thing is simple, man. I'm telling you what it's about. If you want to make it about something else, you might be offended. You might be enticed to fall away. You probably don't get what this thing actually about, now do you? You know? And that's a scary thing. Let's see. Get this. Let's see. This guy trying to be deep like water. John 7:38. It says, 37. In that day, in the last day, that great day of the feast, Yahushua stood and cried, saying, if any man thirst, let him come unto me and drink. Verse 38, he that believeth on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly, his mind, that's another belly, shall flow rivers of living water, right? So you're gonna be likened unto a well. You know what I'm saying? When you believe on the Lord, as the scripture has said, you know, you're gonna only bring forth, you know, loads of water. You know, your belly is gonna become a well, meaning your mind is gonna become a well. You know, that everybody's gonna be able to drink off of, and it's gonna bring forth actual living water, man. Yeah, I think that's it, man. Jake want to get glory. It was another good scripture I want to get, but I'm not even gonna try to, be all deep with it. It's talking about basically the Father's glory. Yeah, I'm gonna end with this. Lord willing, this was edifying, man. Heresy. Yeah, I'm gonna close out with this. Lord willing, let's be heresy. Yeah, so I can. 1 Corinthians 11 and 19. Close out with this, Lord willing. It says, for there must be, 1 Corinthians 11 and 19, for there must, that's a must, for there must be, because there's a balance in this thing, for there must be also heresies among you. So even, opposing doctrines, even in this truth, right? That's just how this walk gonna be. You couldn't think just because you woke up to the truth, everybody in Israel gonna be 100%. No, man. It's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be niggas in this truth too. Sadly, but, appropriately, because it's balance and everything. It says, for there must be also heresies among you, that they, and this is the reason ultimately, that they which are approved may be manifest among you. So let's get that word for manifest real quick. See if this double got it right. Manifest. Salakia. Gotta go back now. Look at that. All right. Heresies. Let's get that word for heresies. A body of men following their own tents, sect or parties. So you basically be a Sadducee, Pharisee. You ain't actually a part of the body, man. You're doing what you want to do. You're not actually in Yahushua, that which are approved, meaning the Lord's actually dealing with. He wants people to actually listen to, manifest. Yeah, maybe made manifest among you. The Naros. And it says apparent, made evident, known, manifest. An example to be plainly recognized or known. Like, okay, this truly a man of the Lord standing right here. Because I know this nigga, this guy right here, he's sadly, but, surely, but, truth be told, he's still a nigga, man. And I know that was said, that was the last one, but it said, Lord willing. It says, Isaiah 9 and 16, for the leaders of this people cause them to err. He will be a leader, right? And they that are led of them are destroyed. So don't be led by this guy, man. He's off. There's tons of brothers telling you and showing you. And we're doing good with our mushrooms, man. We're trying to be deep, Jake. You people follow that, Lord actually probably not dealing with you, and you will be destroyed. That guy's gonna be destroyed, man. So with that, I'm gonna give all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone of Yasha Allah, who will. Shalom.